All right, guys, we'll be talking to James and Jeannie. They've been here about 2 years. We're going to ask them how they got here, what they're doing here, what they like about Costa Rica, what they don't like about Costa Rica, all of that in a minute. Hey, guys, I'm Michael Allen for TravelCostaRicaNow.com. TravelCostaRicaNow.com is a travel agency, so go to TravelCostaRicaNow.com, fill out the 4-minute form, and you'll be that much closer to the vacation of a lifetime. We're like you, and you, having best friends who live in Costa Rica, who know Costa Rica, totally hooking up your Costa Rica vacation. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you want to see videos as we put them up, hit the notification bell. If you really want to help this video get legs and you like it, please thumbs up, thumbs down, comment. Tell her, make a comment how much you like my white shirt. Anything is good. It's what YouTube uses as their major algorithm, engagement. Guys, we're down in Estarios Este, Sunset Del Mar Resort. We're down at our relocation retreat. Actually, James and Jeannie spoke. They spoke about starting a business, right? Or doing some
about
business.
freelancing. Yeah,
freelancing down here. We're going to hit a little bit of that, but we're going to be talking to them how they got down here, what they were doing before, and how Costa Rica even got on their map.
Wow!
But before we start that, if Costa Rica is on your radar and you're thinking about living in Costa Rica, we do have another relocation retreat coming up in a few months. We don't have the exact date. Going to be late fall. I'll get that to you as soon as possible. But again, if it's on your radar but you're not quite sure, the retreat might be for you. And I guarantee at the end of the retreat, you'll know 100% if Costa Rica is right for you or it's honey, we're going to Belize. All right, James, Jeannie, thank you for talking.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, Michael. Thank you.
Always love spreading some information so other people can get some perspective on life down here. So let's just kind of jump in. So you've been here about 2 years, but what was going on before? You were from the States, right?
Yes, we're from the States. We left North Carolina.
So maybe kind of walk us through that, how you got down here part.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Let's not go too far back. Let's not go down a rabbit hole.
I was born.
Let's get to Costa Rica in a timely manner, damn it.
Okay. All I'm going to say, and then you take over, is that he's been thinking about this for about 20 years since he was subscribing to International Living magazine. That's how far back it goes for him.
Not necessarily Costa Rica, but getting out of Dodge, that's for sure. Yes. So a couple of years ago, we were working. We lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. We were, working corporate jobs for me. Jeannie was working. We were both working, and we were towards the end of our tolerance to that lifestyle, keeping up with the Joneses, doing the corporate
wheel.
Yes, there was a big hamster wheel going on. Good point. And we decided that we wanted to make a change, and we weren't exactly sure what that was or how we could do it.
Now, were you? I'm sorry.
No.
I was just going to say, are you pretty confident in the homework and research you did? What was also on your radar? Was it obviously it was maybe some other countries, right?
Yes, a little bit. And so this is how Costa Rica came out. We had a very specific set of criteria. So we like the tropics. We like tropics, warm weather. We wanted to be semi-close to the United States, easy to get to for family and friends. And we wanted to be in a place that was near good health care and a walkable community.
And lots of walkability, yes.
So we looked at, Panama came up, Mexico came up, the Caribbean came up.
Honey, we're going to Belize never came up?
Belize never made the cut.
I'm going to have to change that intro, Jeannie. I guess it doesn't apply.
It doesn't apply. We did think about, for a very brief time, Europe, like Spain or Portugal, but that was too far.
It's funny. You actually did mention a really good point that people like to be, because Portugal usually does come up.
Yeah.
And it is because you're a little too far from like an emergency or family.
Yeah.
Hey, we forgot our hammer. We need to go back to the United States and get that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Got to get that prescription filled.
Okay, so you did, the internet stuff. So you're probably on the internet mostly checking out stuff, right? Doing things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He was the head of research. He was our research department.
Head of research department. So a long time, international living, and all that stuff. But
Hey, you know you're going to have to try to work and travel Costa Rica now sometime in this conversation.
No, that's coming. That's
forget international living. Let's move beyond.
I'm sorry. It was right on the tip of my tongue.
You should say it though.
I went down a rabbit hole of your videos, Michael.
No, we did.
It made us turn the corner.
YouTube. Once we narrowed it down to Costa Rica pretty much, and because, like I said, it checked off all of the boxes.
Was there anything you were a little leery though? Like we were kind of going, I think it checks off the box, but I don't know.
No, actually
didn't. We
got pretty clear quickly what we didn't want. So when you started going down, what don't we want?
So the didn't want is being too far.
Being too far.
We want to be in Mexico, and then Costa Rica kind of floated up, kind of bubbled to the top. But speaking of you, seriously.
No, we did. We started research. I narrowed it down to just a very few YouTube people that I signed up for and was watching regularly. Michael was one of them.
I'm kind of half kidding about it.
No. Seriously, though, this is not a shameless plug for Michael, but he was definitely one of the top ones that we were looking at.
Informative.
He'd been here a very long time. No bullshit. Yeah. Can I say bullshit on YouTube?
No. Yeah. You cannot say bullshit on our channel.
Do not say bullshit.
Shit.
You can say fuck every now and then, but bullshit is out.
That's why we watch Michael.
That's a bridge too far right there.
So we originally had a 2-year plan. Just real quick. We had a 2-year plan to get ready to come to Costa Rica. And that 2-year plan turned into a 5-month plan because we just couldn't take it anymore. So we determined, like, how can we get here? We're not retired. We still need to work. How can we do that? So that's what led us to all that. But as soon as we figured that out, we were here.
I was just going to ask you that. And I only asked this question for one reason, because I really do believe it changes all the answers. Are you independently wealthy? You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you were to say, well, Mike, we got a couple silver spoons sticking out of our mouths, because you think now you can do anything you want.
No.
I can have 9 cars. Cost of living doesn't mean anything.
No.
I have my own private doctors. So it changes the whole
dynamic.
thing.
Absolutely.
No, we're not. And what I actually tell people, so everybody really understands, is that you can compete. A lot of people come down here and they hang on to the house they had in the States or Canada, and then they buy something here, and then they do like 4 months, down here, and then they go back in the nice weather, and they come because they can. They're managing 2 households, like 2 mortgages, plane flight, running houses. And so we're very clear that was not an option for us. If we were going to come down and do what we wanted to do, we sold everything.
It was a commitment.
And that was a commitment for us. So we are not those people.
Okay.
Not.
No, zero.
All right, so you got down here. When you started, Costa Rica's it. We're doing research and homework, and that was how long before you came? You started did you say 5 months?
6 months.
About 6 months is when we made the commitment. We said, okay, we got 6 months to get ready to come down.
Now, have you guys been here? Have you traveled here before? Or are you just I think Costa Rica sounds good, honey. Let's go.
We were in the middle of that, both of those things. So yes, we had visited here before, but not to the extent and the amount that you would think somebody would before they actually take the plunge.
Right.
Right.
Normally you would say, if someone's going to come down here to really change their life, they probably should meet.
Well, here's the thing, and then I'll let James finish, is that, and I say this all the time, for people in a certain age group in the United States, there's been a lot of stuff happening in the last few decades, right? There was the .com, and there was 9/11, and then there was the bust on 2008, and then we had the pandemic. And for those of us in an age group, it fell all in the middle of a career. Like every time you're getting ahead, something came up and hit us. So after the pandemic, or in the middle of it, we were like standing upright, we stayed healthy, and that's when we kind of went, okay, like I said, I don't think I can take much more.
That was my next question, Trump or Biden? No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Don't answer that.
Well, we like Michael.
Don't answer that.
Don't answer.
We won't.
But so when you did come here the first time, I mean, were you are you guys beach people? So you wanted to go on the beach?
Beach was one of the check boxes.
Yeah.
And you stayed on the beach?
Yes.
You were in Playa Coco?
Well, it's funny. When we did come, it was the tropical storm that was in 2017.
Oh, we came here in 2017 the first time. And so we stayed, we were in the mountains, then we were in La Fortuna. And then we came down to Guanacaste, what's the name of the place we were at? Conchal.
Yeah, Conchal.
Nice,
right.
Conchal.
Yeah.
No, it was very nice. And we got here right when a tropical storm hit, like the 5-year storm, the one that flooded everything. We were like the last bus into Conchal.
Literally.
Did you ever feel like, oh my God, that's an omen? They're trying to tell us something. We should listen to that, honey.
It was more like, how often does this happen?
Right.
How often does this happen?
So you were confident. We're going to get to it in a
Yeah.
minute. You were confident when you got down here because you said you still kind of had to find a way to do some money.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
were pretty confident when you got here you could straight away get rolling on some income,
Yes.
which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you went to the beaches. You went around. Now you guys, do you have your residency? Are you
We do not.
thinking about your residency? Or you,
Yes, we're thinking about that.
Yes,
yeah, I
we're
mean,
just
we've
starting
talked
on
to some
that
folks. Just
after
started on
watching
that.
some of your latest videos, as a
all
matter
about
of fact.
perpetual tourist stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's been buzz going on, and we thought when you get to that, the last year and a half, we've been pretty head down, butt up, doing some other things. So it was kind of not at the front of our
Right.
thinking, but now things are a little more steady and calmed down. So now we're thinking about it.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel like are you still in the honeymoon period? You know what I mean? Like, is it
Yeah,
still kind of
no.
vacationy for you?
Not at
You
all.
know what? No,
for me.
no, not. We've had a lot happen in the last 2 years, and
Lot.
The reality,
the reality, man. No, we got
Way over.
baptism by fire. So I would think that a lot of people, if a lot of the stuff happened, we just checked off the boxes for all the shit things that can happen to you, and
We checked everything.
so
pretty much.
we're the good, bad, and the ugly, as you always say.
Yeah. So what was were you surprised by anything that you weren't prepared for? You're like, honey, I can't believe this just happened. I never knew that about this place. Any big surprises, or just kind of expectations that you knew might happen or could happen? Like, I don't know, gringo pricing stuff where
Don't pay attention to that. It's still so much better than what we're used to in the States. I kind of don't understand that. I mean, it's like still better. But what about building? I mean, that's been our biggest. That was
Well,
our
we
biggest shock.
built a home, so I think that was a big learning curve for us.
right out the gate.
Pretty much. Well, we bought a small little Tico home that had been there for 20 years and lived in that while we were building our small, not a big house,
You guys
900
didn't
square
feel
feet.
that was a little ballsy at that
Well,
early
that's
stage?
Yeah. No. So the plan was, I swear to God, I was taking your advice. We said, look, we're going to go down there. We'll spend 2 months here in Potrero. We'll spend 2 months up here at Hermosa, or up there, whichever direction
way.
it is. And then 3 months up in the mountains, check it all out, all the different, microclimates, and not rush into anything. And we ended up rushing into the thing. It just came up, and we looked at each other and said, you know what?
Like an opportunity
It was-
almost?
Yeah, it was like an
opportunity.
opportunity. It opened up, and it was a very short window, and it checked all the boxes. I keep
It's a
saying that.
lovely piece of property bumped up against the jungle with a beautiful little 800 square foot Tico home on it, 20 years old, and plenty of space to build something else on it.
Yeah.
So we were like, and the price, it was like, we don't know that we would get this again. This is an opportunity that if we walk past this one, we don't know. So
Yeah.
we went forward and we lived in the little Tico concrete for a year while we built a 900 square foot home. So no big stuff here, a little 900 square foot home next to it. And then we moved in, and then we remodeled the little hut we were in.
I will ask the question, looking back, are you glad you did that decision, or you're like, damn, we should have waited, honey?
No, we've actually, be honest, we've never that's not happened at all.
Regret.
And there's no
No.
regret that happened at all.
No.
No.
I tell people the whole time we've been here has not been a nightmare.
So
We've had nightmares in it.
you didn't think the building might be a little bit of a night? Are you a construction guy or something? Because we could sit here for the next 20
Yes.
hours and I could tell you story. And it's always the same thing. Michael, I love my house, but the process sucked major ass.
Well, he was the project manager, so he could speak to it all.
Well, I can
An
tell you.
experienced project manager?
Well, we've had not by
We
not
built
by
before.
we've built homes before, but I know building here was totally different experience. The one thing so there was a lot of sucking ass stuff that happened. Overall, I would say it wasn't a total nightmare. There were little nightmares along the way.
His nightmare was actually dealing with my nightmares.
We're not going to be talking about
Just
that.
so we're clear.
It's a little tense.
No, just so we're clear.
But no, overall, it was not a nightmare. But here's one thing is we were here. So some people will buy property here and then build the home before they come down. And so they come down here every few months to check in on it, but they're building remotely. We were living on property. So we
You
could
need to live on property.
yeah,
You're getting
we
something.
were right there with them, and we could see what they were doing every day. So
We were
on top of it a little bit. That
So the overall experience, I mean, that's obviously another video because
Yeah.
I usually will walk around people's homes, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, how was the construction? Did you get ripped off over here? Did
Yeah.
anybody try to take advantage, or did they do that window the way you wanted it, or
Yep.
did you mean for it to come out that crooked?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
No,
No,
that's
really.
it's a design
just the
feature.
outlet.
You're a little Picasso
No,
thing.
nobody ripped us off. It all worked out just fine. But I lost my breath a few times along the way, just because you're in a different country, rules are different. It can get a little
And
scary.
you're kind of out. You don't really have control in a sense.
Right. Yeah. And we're
Yeah.
and we're the foreigners, and we understand that. Like, we accept that. We came in. This is not our land. This is not our home. So we really had to, like, understand what was going on and be gracious throughout the whole thing. Because
We don't call ourselves expats. We call ourselves immigrants.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're so politically correct.
Well, if you look up the
No.
history, I was like, oh,
No. I people say that stuff to me all the time because I say expat. It's not because.
Oh, we
Yeah.
say it too. but-
No, you know why I say it?
Yeah.
Because it's a better search word. No,
Honest,
seriously.
No,
I'm
yeah.
not going to put immigrants when people were looking
Look
for
for
expats.
expats.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
technically, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Immigrants, I get it.
I
Yeah.
actually
You know, I
love
would
that.
normally, I do tell people, I think you made a big mistake technically, but now after knowing you, see, you got that vibe where you're not leaving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not leaving. So I
Yeah.
get it because I'm kind of like that too.
Yeah.
So with you would be kind of what I would say is more of the exception to the rule because most people, I would say, don't do this, what
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
But after I've met you and been talking to you a while, it makes more sense because you guys are very matter of fact. You're coming down here, it's going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to work.
Yeah, whatever James's big thing in life for the last 30 years is whatever it is, it's going to be okay.
Right. And I
That's
have
the
that
thing.
same, so I kind of
Yeah.
get that.
And
So
me, not so much, but I like his point of view, and it's better than mine.
I do agree
No,
with
he's
you,
more,
though.
He's more Puerto Vida.
He's much more Pura Vida.
He's more
He was
Pura Vida.
Yes, he is.
I would say that too, though. I agree. I would not tell people, hey, do what we did. I totally agree with your point of view. Like, for the majority of
Yeah,
people,
the majority of people, right.
don't do that unless, yeah.
Now, what are you guys doing about, tell me if something's too personal, by the way.
Oh, no.
But like health insurance wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't have the CAHA. You're
We
not
do
a
not have
resident.
the CAHA,
We have we got an international insurance policy for both of us.
so we had to go through all the
Which is good
physical
worldwide.
and all that's good worldwide. And we have children that live in Europe,
Uh-huh.
and we want to travel, so we like the idea of having worldwide stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good coverage and everything.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, before we left, we were sort of doing our own thing. So just the cost of international here, compared to what we were paying in the States, is still sort of like, we can do that.
Now, would you keep it if you got the CAHA?
Probably, just so we have the
I mean,
choice.
I would personally.
Well,
if
for
you
traveling.
if you can
Yeah.
afford it, I would.
As long as we
Yeah.
have people that live in other countries that we need to go see, we want to
Right,
cover
because we travel. The idea too. This is going to be our home base, and then we travel to see our kids. Or
So if it's a travel, so it's a travel insurance.
No, it's just it goes with us. It's
Okay, I was
international.
gonna
It's
Yeah.
say, like, are
international.
you like fudging the like? I swear we're traveling, and I
No,
broke my
no.
leg.
No, we have $1,000 deductible here and $5,000 deductible anywhere else in the
Okay.
world, and
Yeah.
it is catastrophic. However, what we have also found is that the healthcare, what you pay for healthcare here with private, plus we have Metasmart.
Just,
There's
I would
just
agree.
no-
I mean,
Yeah.
they got great hospitals here. There's good private care here.
We have
Just
been
real
amazed.
quick, just very briefly, explain Metasmart. Just
Metasmart is a subscription, like a what do you call a reduction card or
Right.
like
Almost
a
like
savings
almost
card.
like a discount card.
It's a discount card, and what they have here is you can go and look and you can find out what are the specials. So if you have something coming up, or
I
you
don't know
need
why
a-
that sounds fucked.
I know.
If you break your leg, we have a special.
That's
yeah,
right,
half
that's
off
right.
X-rays. But
Half
it's
off
really
X-rays this month.
amazing. It's like if you need a test, you can look and say, if
You
you go
almost
and
want to
get
break something just to check it
just
out.
to test it. But I mean, the
CT
cost,
scan this
70,
week for half
80
off.
I'm going to get a CT
2 for 1.
scan
Can I go?
in a few days, and like we're getting it with the whole thing. It's like $350.
That's good. That's smart. That's really smart.
So we went the first 6 months without Metasmart because we didn't really know about it, and then I was like, okay, I got to find this out. And I'm amazed that we've already made our money back for what
Yeah.
we
So
paid.
you guys are good. That's
Yeah,
good.
so
Good.
far so good.
That's
Well, that
very
was a-
comforting because I didn't when we first came down here, I didn't have insurance for 15 years. I mean,
Wow.
my insurance was eat right, exercise, watch
yeah.
what you're doing, and try to be careful.
Well, one of my biggest fears and reasons for moving down here was healthcare in the United States getting older. I was really afraid of that. Even with a Medicare plan, I know too many horror stories. I used to work with old people, and I know too many horror stories of even if you have Medicare, you can still get wiped out, and that just scares me.
Now, the other thing people are always interested in, if you don't mind talking about it, is banking. So how did you work your banking, and what did you do before you even left? Because I mean, I know what you should do, and but I'm just asking what you did for banking.
Well, we didn't do anything about banking before we left. We had all of our U.S. banks, and we just set it up for ease of international wire transfers and things like that. And we had our debit cards. When we got here and we bought property, you have to set it up in a corporation. And in order to do that, you have to have a bank account. Right. So we had to set up a bank account when we got here for the company.
The Banco Nacional.
A business.
Right. A business, just a business account. And we don't keep, to be honest, we don't keep a lot of money in down here, just enough to pay our bills. And we have our banking in the States, and then when we, if we use
ATM money out, right?
We just ATM money out, because you can take out $1,000 a day or whatever the heck it is, and we pay cash for a lot of things.
And for building, you did wire transfers to our building,
right?
Correctly.
And then when we built, it was all from the U.S.
It's hard to tell people. I tell them all the time, you don't really, in the beginning, you don't really need a bank account here, really. I mean, I can understand. It's almost like getting a driver's license in a way. It would be nice, and you can get a bank account as what you're doing, but it's one of those. Do you remember when you were young and you get your first credit card, but you got to give them $500?
Right, to do it.
It's a very cheesy bank account here for you. Like if you go over $500, you can only do $500 or something.
Right,
it's kind
right.
of goofy, but I tell most people, I mean, that's what I do. I ATM money out if I need it, and everything else is, through maybe a card or whatever.
95% of our banking is still in the U.S. and because we're looking at getting our residency, we want to establish some sort of. So, we bring in whatever it is to pay bills, $1,000 here or there, right?
I want to say, a lot of people don't watch the end of the video.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to say right now is, do you have a YouTube channel? Or do you have a website?
We have a website.
And we're going to get into what you do, but if we're going to put your information in my description if people want to get a hold of you. And you said that you wouldn't mind that, right?
Not at all.
Questions or even about the business we might touch on a little bit, they can get a hold of you. And I want to tell them that now. Their information will be in the description. So what are some of the best things you like about living?
Honestly, what I love the most, besides I love the people, the local people, they've been wonderful. So that's number one. Number two is hanging out and meeting like-minded people. So people who come down here have stories. They all have a story. And when they come down, we are like-minded in what either we were looking for. It's adventurous. We look for each other, and everybody's outside of their normal way that they were used to doing life, which is go to work, come home. Maybe I'll see you on the weekend. Maybe I won't. And it was just that hamster wheel again. Down here, there isn't a hamster wheel. Down here, we actually seek each other out to hang out with, like after we work or whatever. And so the social aspect of being down here is more so than we ever had in the States.
We're way more social here than we were ever in the States.
And finally, what I really like is when you travel the world and you go outside what you're used to, you find out that people are up to really cool things. They're doing amazing things. Yeah. They're trying new things. They're starting new businesses. They make jewelry. They're just different. We have people, we have one really good friend we met on a border run. He's from Switzerland. And he's here, and we have this whole new thing that I never would have met anybody from Switzerland in the life. So if you want to open yourself up to what else is possible or what other people are doing in the world, that there is something more than what you're used to, I love that about being here.
Do you have a big immigrant? Do you have a big expat community where you're at?
Yeah, it's both.
Well, is it organized or is it just there?
It's just there.
Do they have chili cook-offs every Tuesday?
No. It's very mixed.
It's very mixed. There is a POA. It's a property owners, but it's not like an HOA. You don't have to join it. We just kind of are a neighborhood that helps put some money toward pothole filling and things like that. But we also, as an expat community there, do a lot to help our other local Ticos there. So it's actually a really nice blend. So everybody kind of hangs out together. We like that.
And
Yeah.
what about you? What do you like? What's your kind of maybe top 2 favorites about your living here?
Well, geez, there's so many, but I think my biggest, I'll start off with, I've lost like 12 pounds since I got here, and not because I tried, but just my mental health is just, it's palatable.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Mark.
Yeah.
I just cannot stress how different a person I believe I am after being here for 2 years. It just, and when we go back home, the last time we went to Charlotte,
It was insane.
we went up for 5 days to take care of some business and, blah, blah, blah. And I'm telling you, we'd been here for, I don't know, a year. Went back to the States. I was there for like 2.5 days. And I was like, can we go home now?
I know. Right? I did that just recently too.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's mental health. I mean, obvious.
The backdrop, I mean, this is what I kind of say. The backdrop of Costa Rica in your life,
Yeah.
that whole, Puerto Rico is a little misused or overused, but
Yeah.
it just gives you that backdrop to kind of clear your mind. It's not even the hamster, forget the hamster wheel, they're laying in the wood chips on the side of the thing. And it's nice. I mean, it's very, it is kind of,
Well, nobody else
Yeah.
is there's nobody else around that's making you. There's nothing around
there's
you
not
that's
a
pushing on you.
taskmaster on you.
No.
I got to do this
No.
today. You kind of like, and you kind of almost understand. We'll get to that maybe tomorrow.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. And my patience levels is so much different. I mean, when I was back home, stressed out, man, traffic jam, you're honking, flipping people off,
I don't see that with you, Jay.
No,
Oh, yeah.
man. Well, she was worse than me.
Yeah, I was bad.
She is a horrible
Bad.
road rage.
Bad.
But
With my
Keep going.
windows
No,
up.
keep
With
going.
my windows up. Though. Nobody knew I was road raging, but I had my windows up. But yeah.
but here you are forced to slow down. Not like a gun to your head
No, you
force,
are.
but you are. You
are.
need to. And if you can't embrace that, and then
You're in deep trouble.
you're right. And that's when people leave. If they bring down that expectation that I'm just going to come from the U.S. and bring my life here, that doesn't work.
That never works.
It never works.
I think for me, the mental is the biggest thing for me. It's very calming for me.
Yeah.
I can work, my mind is not so loud,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Not too
Yeah.
loud. Too
I like
loud.
that. So is there anything that you've come across that kind of bummed you out about here that you learned, like, damn, I was hoping that wasn't like this? Like, nothing. I mean, you gotta, here's what we gotta do. You gotta come up with something bad.
Oh, I
Nobody's
have
gonna
it.
believe you
I
on
have
this
it.
video. Like, it's not, because now we're getting into every day is paradise.
No. Yeah,
So
no.
we need a couple bad things,
Oh, I
James.
definitely got mine. Yeah.
Okay, well, there are some bad things, right? We got broken into and robbed.
Why are you being so negative?
Yeah, I know. This is the only place that was. So, crime is not violent crime, but crime of opportunity
But I want
is
to
a
make it
big deal
really
here.
clear. I lost all my mother and grandmother's jewelry. They broke into our home, beat the shit out of our safe, and took everything out of it. So I just want to be really clear. This was like major for me. That was like.
And that wasn't enough to go, honey, I'm not doing that.
No,
because it was. I mean, I'm sorry, you guys. I sound like a. It was actually an opportunity. It was kind of
Oh
like.
my God, she's
It's
going
just-
I
there.
cried. I cried
She
through the
cried.
whole thing.
for a week.
And I still wake up in the middle of the night breathless when I think of certain pieces. Like he made me glass jewelry that I no longer have. But talk about getting clear about what you freaking care about
And what's
When you get
important.
down
Yeah.
to it.
Very true statement.
I mean, he looked at me
Yeah.
and said, honey, it doesn't define you, and has never thought about whether that defined me or not. And when he said it to me, I was like, holy shit, I think that I really walked around like if I wore a sapphire ring, it meant something.
I was kind of laughing, but you're totally right, because you see, it is opportunity to kind of go, wait a minute, why am I putting so much importance on the best things in life aren't things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
I
then you
gotta
kind of
say,
go, okay, that sucks.
yeah.
I got it in perspective. I don't want that to happen again. I'm
still
assuming
sucks.
you guys probably did some things maybe to
We
Oh my
security
gosh.
up. I have, claymores, barbed wire.
right.
Yeah.
So you don't want to give your address. If
Yeah,
people
no,
visit you,
no.
right?
No,
No,
But
that
yeah,
does suck. I mean,
that was huge.
well, yeah, it's
huge.
huge. Right now,
Huge.
people are going, "Oh my god!"
We were only gone for 2 hours with our dogs, and we came back, and they took my free weights outside, 7 pound, and beat the shit out of the door
Hinges.
and the window. And then they took the other weight. And
Oh,
beat
the bars on the window.
They beat those out.
So we learned about why those don't work and how to make them so they do work. We learned that the hard way. And then they took the other weight and they beat the shit out of, like, I don't know.
It was a 500-pound save.
And
Now, are you guys private, or is there houses around you?
Oh no, we had neighbors.
I mean, how
one
does somebody
neighbor.
have that time to just go, I'm going to feel comfortable breaking in this house no matter how long it takes?
The house on one side of us, they don't live here full time. They rented out, and there was nobody there. And then on the other side of us, they were building a house. It was a construction. We think it was those guys.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was horrible. I there's no words to talk about how horrible that is. And I'm going to keep being annoying, which is we were healthy and our dogs weren't there and nobody hurt us like that.
Okay, here's my big gripe. Hey, I can't go down to a hardware store and get the shit I need like when I need it. If I need something, I've got to
You have it muled in.
I don't know. Do you have a Colono by you?
I do, but
Those are the, I don't even want to that's another video.
I can't find what I need. Anyway, so that
That's your
I'm
gripe.
half
Your big
joking,
gripe.
but I'm saying, it's like, hey,
You're not really joking, James.
I know, really.
know what you're
I
talking
can't
about.
just go down to Home Depot and get everything I need right there.
So you are going to finalize this with residency, right? That's
I
what
think
you're
we're headed
Yeah,
that
we're headed that
So
way.
now tell everybody, you guys are kind of saying, hey, we need to make a little bit of cash flow to live down there. So let everybody kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So so before I was willing to move down here, I had to know that I can earn a living. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, I am not coming down here because when you live down here, if you're not a resident, you cannot work here. And even if you are a resident, it takes a while. So that was not an option for us. So we needed to have another way to do it. And James had participated in a program all about freelancing and then told me about it. So I took that program. I got a coach to help me get good at it. And honestly, within 3 months.
But describe, okay, see,
So
I hear
freelancing.
you, but what's
Online.
freelancing? I don't
Thank
really
you.
know what that is.
So freelancing is working online, making offers online to potential online clients on a platform.
So
where
somebody's
jobs-
searching that platform.
Looking for
Right.
somebody
Get
to do a
something
job.
done.
Companies,
a project,
companies,
a
yeah,
task,
project.
something. But huge companies to
Can it be
individual.
anything?
Anything. Anytime you look on the platform we use, there's over 300,000 jobs any given day. Any given day.
And you can say, I can do that job.
I can do
Yeah.
that job. And you
Exactly.
make a proposal, you fill in a proposal, you make your proposal, and then you're hoping to get hired.
So since yours is on the internet, I'm assuming maybe you're doing some writing.
I
or
write. He does. I write. I'm a content writer.
She's
I do
the writer.
blogging, articles,
For
listicles.
people.
Interesting. I work for clients and I help them with their websites, their blogs, and then I have clients that they actually have clients and they need to write for their clients. So I write for my client's client. So I'm a content writer and I coach. So that's the other part of our
Coach
business.
as in how to do the same thing?
I am a certified freelance coach.
Okay,
so
so-
I work with people who want to do what I do and learn how
Did
to
you hear
do
that,
it.
guys? That's why you could, in the description, you can get a hold of them and talk to them about this.
Well, when I started doing it, I was on it, and within 3 months of starting it back in the States, I was making $3,000 a month, and I was working 25, 30 hours a week doing it. And I said,
Did we
I
just go
can
into
do this.
infomercial part?
People want to know. They're like, well, what did you make?
Did you see how she snuck that shit
up
up?
for $3,000 a week if
And
you
no-
call now.
And no shipping or handling.
Oh, Jesus. James, you didn't tell me this was going to happen.
It just came out.
No, go ahead.
But that's
She's
it.
so she's
What are you
the.
capable of making? That's three, maybe.
I don't.
You know
I
what?
don't
As
need
much
more
as
than
you want. I mean, it just depends on your needs.
So
Some
she's
people.
pulling her weight. What are you doing?
I do fractional sales executive work. What does that mean? So I work with small companies that can't afford like a VP of sales and marketing, and I help them get their sales house in order.
Consulting?
It's
Sort of?
yes, it's
No,
kind
it's not,
well, but
because-
it's not consulting. Because I consultants to me go, all right, I'm gonna spend the next 6 weeks following you around and write all the shit down that you do wrong, and then I'm gonna give you a report, and I'm gonna say, if you do this,
You'll be
better
you'll
off.
be better off.
You could make $3,000 a week.
Right. Give me 50 grand,
Oh,
and then
a
I
month.
want
Oh,
Did you think it was a week?
what?
A week? Come on,
I'm
pushing
not that
something.
good. I'm not
I
that
thought you were
good.
pushing a
No,
guy.
it was a month. Oh my God.
I want commissions if this works out.
I'm telling you. If I get to 3,000 a week, I
Yeah.
will give you commissions.
Thank you. So
I work with people online, small businesses online, could be anywhere in the world that need sales and marketing help who can't afford to hire a full-time person.
And he's embedded in, so they pay him, but he stays with them. He is their VP of sales.
I not only come up with the strategies, I actually, help them implement them.
now, is this what you were doing?
That's what he started.
Well, I was a VP of sales in like corporate America,
Okay.
but now I'm just doing it on a fractional basis online with people who need help.
So how would they find you? Is it the same?
I find them mostly
You find them?
the same way.
You
We
guys
don't-
suck at your job, and I can help you out.
right? Yeah, kind of
Well,
like
when
that.
you put up
No,
on
I mean,
web-
no, really. How does
Yeah.
that?
So there are people like on the Upwork, right? Small businesses, and they'll go looking, need a VP of sales to write a business plan or a sales plan for us. And I go, I can do that.
But you
So I
also
put
do
together-
word of mouth. So he
I
knows
do word of
people
mouth,
that'll say, "You gotta
LinkedIn."
Talk to James Ballou.
I do a little bit of stuff on LinkedIn and network with business owners that way. And then it's a lot. Then there's word of mouth.
Yeah. If you're small to medium-sized business and you can't afford a full-time VP of sales, but you need somebody in that position to do that kind of work,
Like right
that's
now.
what fractional VPs do.
Would you care to tell him how much he can make a month? Since we're like promoting
But here's what I
and
will
commercialing,
say.
and if you call now, right?
Here's what I will say. The part that makes it fractional is those people can afford him.
Oh yeah, that's nice, right?
That's always nice. Well, yeah, because it's not as expensive
Full-time.
as hiring a full-time person. So
And
that's
he covers his own insurance, and nobody has to worry about any of that.
They
So
don't have
just out of curiosity, so you work when you want? Do you have hours? Do you have to be on? Do you have to?
It's funny. Well, the
When and
hours
where?
are kind of work around Costa Rica hours. So here's the deal. We live by the beach. We live up north. It gets very hot. I have very fair skin. So that daytime heat from 10, 11
10 to
to
3.
about 3 or 4 is I'm not going out in that. So we get up. We have 2 dogs, 2 standard poodles we brought with us. We walk them early in the morning.
You
We
gotta
have
know their
breakfast.
names, I'm sorry.
Ferdinand and Cousteau.
Oh my
So
gosh.
as in
Bird.
Jacques.
I know.
Jacques, and we say
Yep.
down here Fernando. So it's very, very good. And we take them out in the morning. We have breakfast. We get working around 9ish. Takes us all the way through till 9 or 10 we start. We go till 3 or 4. The sun goes down. We're done, and we're out walking again on the beach, having cocktails with friends or whatever. So we set it, but it kind of goes by. Well, I'm not going.
Goes
out
by how
anyway.
hot the sun is.
Right.
Like
A good way to do it.
so, it works out perfectly. What else am I going to do inside for 6 hours?
No, it's great.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like an opportunity. Matter of fact, I've heard of a lot. There's so many internet ways of making money now.
Yeah.
I mean, even a lot of the Chicos are doing it. I
Yeah,
mean, there are the
yeah.
call centers,
Yeah.
selling solar panels, and
Yeah.
my neighbor was not only she was teaching English to the Chinese, but she was an upgraded version. She was making $25 an hour, which is
Yeah.
for Costa Rica cost of living.
Yeah.
That's
That's-
a very good.
That's
Yeah.
a good
thing.
living.
I mean,
Very
a lot of teaching English is maybe, let's say, $12 or
Right.
something.
Correct. Yeah.
But there's all kinds of ways, and I'd never really heard of that. So I just think that's interesting that's going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this isn't one of those. You can make $1,000
No,
a day.
is you work. You work. It's
You're working with companies that need your help, so you're providing the service, your skill for their dollars.
And
not-
it's right. And
And
you're a business owner. You're yourself. You make commitments. You fulfill. You meet your deadlines. You get paid. It's
And I guess you
the
kind
real
of
thing.
work with yours. You got maybe 2 jobs, and you're not trying to find anymore, right? Or you can do as
I
much
like
as you want,
as
kind of.
much
right?
or little. I like to have 3 to 5 clients going at any given time. So they come and they go, they follow. But the idea with freelancing, and the same for the person that's hiring you, is nobody wants to keep looking for who's going to work for you, and nobody wants to keep looking for a job. So when you find the clients that like you and you do well with, they just keep coming back, and they just want you to keep doing work. So if you can get 3 to 5 of those going, which is what I was doing when I was making that income, which I'm not now because we're working on other
You can
stuff.
say it, $3,000.
A month though, right?
I know. I messed that up so bad.
Yeah.
I had you rich and like in a
A
big
week.
house on the mountain.
No, little thing. Yeah. So that's kind of the idea behind freelancing, is to get that core body of people that you get along with and you do well with, and it's easier for them to keep coming back to you to keep doing their work than keep finding somebody new.
Last question. Anything you would advise, like you did something, you might have maybe done it differently. You know, like just for, not that this is it, but for instance, maybe we kind of bought that house a little quick. You know, is there anything like that maybe if you redid it, you probably might have changed this thing besides the stolen property? Because I'm sure you would have.
Yeah.
Well, we would have gotten
my sister
security
told me not to bring
sooner.
the stuff down with me, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be fine.
Oh, it's going to be fine.
Should have listened.
So it is house related. It's not. I don't think we've ever regretted that we jumped in.
Just something you would do differently.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely would. The building process would have been way different. Like the way that we picked the builder, that's the whole front end process of getting ready to build. We would have done that way different. I mean, we would have had different conversations.
Yeah, I want to make sure that people who are listening know that this was not all rainbows and unicorns. I cried a lot, and he had to really deal with, like, it's going to be okay, because there were moments, you guys, when I was not
stress.
Like full
stress
on,
like stuff? Like you weren't going to make it, or
well, we put everything into it.
Right.
So
okay.
you're like, when we're not like sitting there going, oh, no problem, we got this stash over in Switzerland and Geneva. Right. Yeah, no, that's not us. So I had times where I was stressed out, and he really had to deal with me going, I think only one time. Oh, wait, real quick. One more thing we forgot to say. We were in a car accident.
It just keeps getting better, Jack.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a check. I forgot that.
I was starting to get that negativity that I crave.
I knew there was something we didn't say. We were in a car accident.
People pass on the left here when you're making a left-hand turn, and they're behind you like this, and you're going to make a left turn. You've got your blinker on you, and they just go boom.
Is there something you'd like to say about Chico driving?
Oh,
okay.
That's a whole new video. That's another video.
There's a couple videos that I would like to follow up sometime. The building thing's a whole new video because there's so much things to talk about.
Yeah.
And it sounds like we got some other things with Chico driving, perhaps.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure people know that more than him, because he is pura vida, like in spirit, much more than I am. I'm much more fear-based, and this is very scary. But I wanted the adventure, and I went with it, and now we're into it, and it's all good. But I want to be clear that it was dicey for me a few times where I was very scared that we were going to have to file bankruptcy and go live with family. Like, it got dicey and scary, and I want to make sure everybody's clear that there were scary times.
But if you act now, you can make 3,000. I'm sorry, I'm done with that. I'm done. I promise.
No, he's not
done with that. I'm about to beat that down.
Call this number.
Here's our dead horse. Would you like to?
Right, no, right. James, thank you so much. I hope we
thank you, Michael.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I'm Michael Allen, TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Peace, guys. Hope it helps. Hey, things are going to pop up. If you're thinking about living or traveling anywhere, especially Costa Rica, I'm going to put my videos against anybody. Ciao.